Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's Proverbs with Paul in the afternoon, this rather cold Monday afternoon. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 8. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. So, the sacrifice of the wicked, one of the reasons why God gave to Israel sacrifices was to recover them from when they went astray. So they would mess up, and the sacrifices provided a means in which they could recover in their relationship with God. And so the reality of them having to perform sacrifices meant that they had chosen to disregard some form of instruction of the Lord, and therefore were in need of sacrificing. And so God was saying, in effect through Solomon, that the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. Because although the provision was given for a positive investment in terms of to Israel, the fact is that they were using that in an inappropriate way. Often they would abuse, as it were, the laws of God and then just clean up with sacrifices. So it almost neutralized and nullified the purpose of the reason why God gave the sacrifice process in the very beginning, because it wasn't really bringing them into a place of righteousness or setting them aside as a holy people, because they'd basically, it's a bit like cheap grace. They weren't really sorry enough to not want to do it. And so consequently, they carried on doing what they shouldn't have been doing as far as God was concerned. But the complete opposite applies to those who are in pursuit of righteousness. It says this, it says, but the prayer of the upright is God's delight. The prayer of the upright. So the very fact that there's no need for a sacrifice is already a positive thing, because when we're in prayer, we are in communion with God, and therefore we are in relationship with God. We are already, in effect, together with God. And the very fact that we're in this position of rightness with God is God's delight. God delights to be with us every single day. But our sin that we commit brings us into division as it relates to our intimacy with God. It's like God doesn't pull back, but we are ashamed, and so we pull back. And because we are doing things wrong, we are ashamed, we pull back, and therefore relationship breaks down. Brothers and sisters, the prayer of a righteous man, woman, accomplishes much, because it means that we are in relationship to God. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow.